All right, we did it again. Thanks again, folks. This is Captain Jack Rackham here, and I'm with. By the way, I like that shirt, Fred. I mean, I don't like the logo, but I
It's
do.
actually a hoodie. It's a hoodie.
Oh, it's a hoodie. Okay,
Yeah.
I do like that shirt. That's pretty sharp. Because it has the black and the gray.
Oh yeah, and my hat to match.
Yeah, and then one thing, I'm going to show you something that I wish you would have seen in 19. What year was it? Anyway, you'll know what I'm talking about when you see the shirt.
Bonet Jackson.
There you go.
Nice.
A bow in a white jersey, which would have made a hell of a lot of better things happen instead of 51-3.
Hey, Bo knows.
Yeah. Bo knows not to go to Buffalo when it's cold. Folks, I'm Captain Jack Rackham Levy, and we are joined tonight with, of course, my regular co-host, Buffalo Fred Kilmartin. Fred, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. Another great weekend of football in the NFL. Again, I mean, my Bills rolling along. And guess what? It was some good football again this weekend. A lot of good teams, some upsets out there. And for the most part, I was impressed with the Bills' performance against the Steelers. I'm not going to just keep harping on it. That game's over. Trying to move on to the next one, and I'm a little nervous because the Buffalo Bills actually have a chance to lock up the first AFC East Division title since 1995. So I'm kind of stoked about that, and I just hope the football gods again are on our side tomorrow at 4:30.
Okay, well, again, moving ahead, because you're already talking about shit that I said that we weren't get in regular later on in the show. Thanks, Fred.
Sorry about that.
And by the way, folks, I will try not to swear anymore. But again, people who know me know that I've been on a diet, and there's nothing. And I kind of cheated today. I had some bread because I went to one of the better steak places because their salads were really good with the salad and the chicken, but their bread's awesome. So I had bread and butter, and for me, that's cheating. But still, I'm going nuts not having the stuff that I had. And by the way, I know Tiffany is watching. Tiffany, if you showed me stuffed shells with cheese anymore, I'm going to fly the F off in a rage. Okay? I need my carbs, and I need that with the cheese. I need the sauce because I know you're Italian and whatever. But before we do that, says, shut up, Jay. This is a normal response here. I also want to show a couple. First off, two things before we get to our sponsors. You guys will know this nice, wonderful Josh Jacobs Las Vegas Raiders football is right here. Okay, fantastic in a wonderful case. And you can even in the back of it, it's what do you call it, with the mirror and whatnot. It has the Raider logo here. You might not be able to see it. It's right above the Stabler. And I'm going to let you guys know there's one left. So if you want a Josh Jacobs football signed, one left, okay, you got to go to NICOsports.com, and I'll probably look for it while we do the sponsors in a little bit. But you got to ask for Joe, I believe. So I got to remember it's Joe. Nico Sports, you got to ask for Joe. And then when you ask for Joe, you got to tell Joe that Captain Jack sent you because he's the one with the football. So if you want a Josh Jacobs football, and this is for everybody that's out there, and I know that there's not just Raider fans out there. If you want a special edition Josh Jacobs football, Nico Sports, and ask for Joe. And then when you ask for Joe, you got to say that Captain Jack sent you. So we're going to do some sponsors. Hopefully, while you do that, there, big guy, I'll find the number to Nico Sports. Go ahead, partner. First off,
of course, it's the Soul-Made Performance socks. And remember what I was saying. Any sock they can make for any NFL team. It's not just one team. They got the Bills, Raiders, all 32 teams available. These are comfortable socks. They're knee-high socks, so it's a great sock. And guess what? With this weather, this storm that just hit the Northeast, you can never have too many pairs of socks.
Okay, you're making me go back and forth here. You're keeping me on my toes. Go ahead. There you go. Next one up.
Next one is Toys. This is one of our sponsors. This is the guys that go and make the nice figurines. They do custom-made figurines. Whether you're a super fan or just a diehard fan of your team, you want to show your pride in your jersey or your hat or your special mask. Tazgo Toys, they can make a nice figurine for you of that character.
And by the way, if you see, I have one there, one up there, and one right here. So very, very nice. So again, I can show the sponsor straight up. So again, great stuff with Tazgo Toys.
Then you got seasonal sports. Right now, Tiffany's shirts are being produced and made, the anti-bullying shirts. You can go on the page and go to the shop now button, and seasonal sports are the ones that created these. They're nice short shirts. They got the nice logo on them for the elite super fans. So you guys have a chance, check them out. And if you guys need anything embroidery or screen printing or any vinyl work, reach out to Fred at Seasonal Sports.
Okay. This one is one of mine, and it's because of Bob Grant, who is the president of the Retired Players Congress. Go to playerscongress.com to get your apparel. These guys made diddly. I'm gonna do my inner Jim Mora. Diddly poo. Okay, when they were making money in the NFL, they didn't make a lot of money. These guys are living off of pensions and Social Security and things like that. Players Congress supports these gentlemen. So you go to Players Congress, and later on I'll also show you a shirt. I gotta pull it from back here. But they have lots of apparel, probably the best apparel you're gonna have. Don't go to Fanatics. Don't go to Foot Locker. Don't go to anywhere. Go to playerscongress.com and support these guys, okay? Then another one, shoesforkids.com. My buddy Jerry Robinson is president of the board of directors. They make sure that underprivileged kids get the shoes that they need. So if you want to just help them out, in the Christmas spirit, if you have shoes that are lightly used, okay, don't give them some work boots with 3 holes in them if you don't mind, okay, or sneakers. Lightly used shoes. Go ahead and send them into Shoes for Kids. Go there for the website. Tell Jerry that Captain Jack sent you, and we'll go from there. And the last one, and I apologize, it's not. It should be as well. Join Bocadillas Universe, okay? Bocadillas will give you this wonderful. And actually, if I could do it real quick, I can actually share the screen here. 1 second. I'll actually show you what one of them actually looks like. So we'll do this in a second. Come on. I'm trying to add it to the screen. Oh, I know why. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
That is a bocadilla, okay? And that's just an example. That's mine. They will do the cartoon characters of you, so make sure you join the Bocadilla universe. Check up on the website, get with Tiffany, and join the Boco universe, and you'll be very happy. That's a good close-up of one that I had as well. And I did get the number for Nyko Sports. It's 800-345-2868. Again, that's 800-345-2868. If you want the Josh Jacobs football, the very last one that's available, and it's sharp. Again, mostly Raider fans are going to be looking for the football. It was a pain in the ass to get it into the case and to look good because I'm anal retentive. But you see very nice signature on that. And ask for the football. Ask Joe. Say Captain Jack sent you. And again, if you want it for a great collectible, go and get a Josh Jacobs football. So there you go there. Hey, Fred, lots going on in football. I tell you, I won't even talk about last night until the very end. Well, actually, we'll go into a couple different things, but there is something that's very important that's happening this weekend, and I didn't expect it to happen. Actually, was the return of Drew Brees this Sunday. Yeah.
Drew Brees is back. He's missed the last 4 games. He had 11 broken ribs and a punctured lung. But he's healthy again, and he's going to be out there and playing this weekend when the Saints take on the Chiefs. And the thing is that they didn't really miss a beat without him being in there. I mean, except for the Eagles game, the team went 3-1 without him there. So it's going to be a big boost for that team getting ready for the playoffs with Drew Brees returning. Yes,
it is. And I tell you, we're gonna go up to your neck of the woods in New York, and again, there's only one New York team that plays in the NFL, and it's those Bills in Buffalo. And your grand man with the plan, Mario Cuomo, was throwing you guys some possible good news today.
Yeah, he was saying that, he would be all in for fans to be at the Bills Stadium for the playoff games. But there's also a stipulation, Noah, on this. I know a lot of Bills Mafia was all pumped up to hear that he's willing to allow fans to come in here. But he's also saying that positive cases and hospitalization numbers have to be low for the region in order for this to happen. So hopefully everybody can continue doing the social distancing so we can get this down, so we can get some Bills Mafia back in the house where they belong, especially for this playoff push.
Now, does that mean that you can't break your tables in groups more than 6?
Well, you can break a table at your house as many times as you want, but you just can't have 10 people there.
Okay. I just figured I'd throw you.
Actually, they're not even allowing fans in the parking lots at all up at Bills Stadium. They're issuing trespassing tickets. So, they're keeping everybody away from the stadium during games.
That just means you go down to the Anchor Bar and get more wings, right?
Yep, that's it. Yep. Or you sit home and order wings and drink beer.
I actually enjoyed the Anchor Bar when I was up there. Really good wings.
Yeah, there's a lot of great places up there that has good wings. Nova Pizzeria is really good. Lenova, they have awesome charred wings. I mean, I don't think there's not a spot I haven't eaten wings in Buffalo, to be honest with you.
Well, if they ever have a non-cold weather game in Buffalo with the Raiders playing, you and I will enjoy it, and Tiffany will make some food too. You'll do your steaks, and Tiffany will make some pasta, and I'll have a heart attack at the end of the weekend.
Absolutely. And okay. The only warm games in Buffalo are probably through the month of September.
Yeah, I was there the year the Raiders went to the Super Bowl. Was the first time I went to Buffalo, and there was no snow on the ground. It was pleasant. It was a September game, and that's the only reason why I went.
Because September, right?
Yeah.
Us diehards, we don't let the weather bother us.
Right. Now, we are going to talk about the game last night in one respect, and that's to the injury to the Raiders quarterback, Derek Carr. And it was hard to watch as a Raiders fan, although Derek Carr is the most polarizing figure amongst Raider fans because he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL statistically, but everybody harps on the fact that he can't win. Okay. And again, when you look at the record last night, they were 7-6. So they were a game above 500. Now they're 7-7. Mm-hmm. And it's like, but he can do all of this stuff, but he can't win. And I get it. And it's unfortunate that he was actually a top 5 NFL quarterback this year, gets the groin injury. And they were talking about it that, he could be back in 10 to 14 days. And my question to you, Fred, is if the Raiders are out of it, and I think they have like maybe a 0.0001% chance of making the playoffs, why?
Right. I mean, the thing with Derek Carr is you got to look at this guy because he hasn't missed a game in 3 years for the Raiders. So, I mean, for him to go down, it was pretty bad because even Gruden had said that it was a pretty significant injury. So I'm not sure if he'll be back for the rest of the year, to be honest with you, depending on how bad this groin injury is.
Yeah,
but you guys do have an established backup in Marcus Mariota, and I mean he accounted for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I mean he had the game wrapped up. I mean the missed field goal kind of hurt, but for the most part that game was going to be won by the Raiders. Nothing to do with the quarterback play at all.
Yeah, in fact, and this is another, and hopefully we'll get some people to call in at the end of the show. I'm hoping to get Raider fans calling because I was talking about it late last night. Why in the hell, if you are in overtime and you are down at the 2-yard line and Marcus Mariota has been running his ass off, do you not have at least one running play for him? Okay, absolutely. And yep. the game is won. Now, by all rights, the game should have been lost for the Raiders in regulation because I almost said San Diego. The Charger kicker missed not 1 but 2 makeable field goals.
Yep.
So I tell you, that's just stupid there. While we're talking about unique things, and I would say obviously Mariota acquitted himself well. I'm going to talk about something that we're going to also talk about with one of our guests, and that was I just found out in the news that Jason Garrett is tested positive for COVID, so he won't be the play caller this weekend. Actually, Freddie Kitchens will be. Did I catch you off guard on that?
No, actually, I heard that as well. Yes, yep. I knew that Garrett tested positive, and I just found out actually a couple hours before the show that Freddie Kitchens was going to be the offensive coordinator calling the plays. So it's going to be interesting to see what he calls. I'm thinking a lot of running plays.
Okay. Well, again, we'll get with Mr. LPG on that, so I'm sure he has some insight. Now, before we go to who can wrap up a playoff spot this weekend, I'm gonna really change gears on a bunch of different people, and I'm gonna talk college football because again, this is championship weekend, and I'm going Power 5 because honestly, I don't really give a flying you-know-what about the other divisions. And the reason why I say that is neither does the NCAA. Because if you're not a Power 5 person +1 with Notre Dame, and Notre Dame this year is in the ACC, but even other than this year, they would be their own independent. If you're not Power 5 or Notre Dame, you have no right to even call yourself in for a playoff spot eventually. And so we'll also talk about that as well. We lost Bukdog. Hopefully he'll be coming back. But what are your thoughts, by the way? And I'm going to throw out right now, and I'll probably find where it is. The Pac-12 is doing. Where the hell is my remote? There it is. The Pac-12 is doing their championship game right now with USC playing Oregon. Any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think Oregon is probably the better team. I got a chance here. I got a feeling that they're going to be the one that's going to end up winning that game. But you touched on a little bit about having more than one team or 8 teams, in this playoff set format for the NCAA. You were touching on that.
Yes.
I myself, I don't think that it's a good idea. And the only reason why I think the more that you allow in there, the angrier you're going to have people, because they're going to feel that their team belongs in there. So that could actually draw up some drama in the NCAA, because how do you judge on who do you let in? If you have someone in the lower division and you have someone like a powerhouse in the SEC and they have the same record, you let the SEC in there, you're going to have nothing but conflict now.
Well, you're always going to have conflict anyway. There's always going to be the people that don't make it. That if they go 8, whoever was number 9 is going to bitch. But I honestly think, though, that they have to expand it beyond the 4 because it gives some iterations of a non-Power 5. And there are people like, and I want to say Cincinnati is undefeated. Let me get that. Yeah, they're 9th. They're 8-0. They're undefeated. And they have a reason to bitch about them not being in there, okay? Another undefeated team, I think, is Coastal Carolina, although they're dropping now. Where are they? I know I saw. Yeah, there they are. They're number 12. They're 11-0. I know that they don't play. I think one of the MEAC or the I can't even remember which conference they're playing in. But you have an undefeated team,
right?
And so why don't you throw in? And there was UCF a couple years ago, locally to Florida. There's been others that have been undefeated, and unless you're a Power 5 conference, and by the way, I'm glad we got Bukdog back. You don't see him, but I do. We're definitely going to talk about your Buckeyes, Buck. We're definitely going to talk about your Buckeyes, so be ready for that. I know he can hear me. But we won't do about that until we go into and actually, I don't know. Right now, Oregon is winning 21-7, and that doesn't surprise me. USC is 5-0, but you know what? I think Oregon is a better team. I know I pissed off a lot of Raider fans that they are also SC fans, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Oregon win.
Right.
In the Big 12, Oklahoma is playing Iowa State. That's at noon. Any thoughts on that? I think Oklahoma is going to be too much for Iowa State.
I think so. I think you're right. The way that they've been playing, they got a tough defense too down there. So, yeah, the number 6 Iowa State, number 10 Oklahoma. I got a feeling that they're going to pick it. to win, and Iowa's actually favored by 5.5 points.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's news to me. But yeah, I think Oklahoma's going to win. Also at noon on Fox, let me get this right. The Ohio State
Northwestern
Buckeyes are playing Northwestern. I mean, it's obvious to me that I'll make sure I said that right for Buck, the Ohio State University is going to be too much for Northwestern. But why is the Ohio State University in this game to begin with when they break all of the rules and do this and that and the other thing to make sure that they're in there? Personally, and I know I'm going to get a lot of this from Buck, I would have had Indiana play in this game because they played enough games and they only lost to the Ohio State University. But they changed the rules in order for make the Buckeyes get into the game, and I know Buck's probably going to come after me on that, which is good. But your thoughts on that as well?
I mean, I think Northwestern is probably going to come out and play the best game that they've played all year, but I don't think it's going to be enough for those Buckeyes. I mean, they're going to probably roll over them. I probably could see them winning by 3 touchdowns.
They're the much better team. In the ACC, you got a rematch. Clemson and Notre Dame.
This is a game here.
Again, Notre Dame this year is playing in the ACC because they wanted to make sure that they would be included. Notre Dame beat Clemson the first time up in Indiana, but they beat them without Trevor Lawrence. Okay, probably the number one pick in the draft. And we spoke about him again. I think this is probably going to be the best game of all of the championship games. I think this one's going to be the best one.
I think you're right, and you know what? I think that I'm going to go with Notre Dame on this one. I know that they were 5.5 favorites when they played up in South Bend, but now that this Clemson team's a little bit healthier. But guess what? Notre Dame, they're rolling, and this could probably be the year that Notre Dame finally goes to the NCAA championship and gets this title because they are a well-rounded team.
Okay, now for this one, I got to change hats.
Roll Tide. Oh, the Gators.
Okay. Oh, I would never desecrate my head, my sacred noggin by putting on an A. I would never do that. Okay. Alabama faces Florida in the SEC championship at 8 p.m. Florida,
Roll Tide.
Last weekend, did one of the cardinal sins of looking beyond who the hell they were playing. And LSU came into Florida in Gainesville and whooped their ass.
Yeah.
And again, I saw it. Now, the Gators could have won at the end, but stupid plays by the defense, and I'm all about this as well. And instead of a needed stop at the end, you throw a shoe, you get a 15-yard penalty, you get a new set of downs. Their kicker kicks the field goal. We get the ball back, because I'm a Gator, get the ball back, and our kicker misses. Kind of like, but when it's wide left, it's supposed to come from Florida State, not from UF. Okay. But and I know you are a Bama guy. I have no clue why. But I think Bama's going to win. But I want to at least see a good game by the Gators. I want to keep it at least maybe within 10 points because to me that shows that the Gators at least their offense is good, and obviously their defense has sucked all year. But any further thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, to beat Alabama, everybody knows you got to have a running game to keep that offense off the field. I just don't feel that Florida's got that offense to do that, and I think it's going to be a big victory for Alabama.
I don't like you, Fred. Okay, we did speak about the other, like maybe that 18 playoff. I firmly believe that we're going to talk about an 18 playoff. But what we are going to talk about is who can clinch a playoff berth this weekend. And that's in the NFL. And let me go back to my NFL hat here. Okay, see, I have one ready, I'm Mr. I have more than the Mad Hatter of old LSU, West Mile. But who can clinch the playoffs this weekend?
Well, obviously, I've already said I let the cat out of the bag, but the Buffalo Bills have a chance with a victory this weekend over the Denver Broncos to win the AFC East division title for the first time since 1995. And they can also do it if Miami loses. That's one team. And then you got the Kansas City Chiefs. They can actually clinch home field advantage this weekend throughout the playoffs with a win and a Steelers loss and a Bills loss. And then the Pittsburgh Steelers, they can actually clinch up the AFC North this weekend. They need a win, or they need the Browns to lose, and then they could clinch that. And then the Tennessee Titans, they have a chance to clinch an actual playoff berth, but they need to win, and they need the Ravens to lose, and then they also can get it if the Raiders lose, Miami loses, and the Browns win. So that's for the Titans. That's in the AFC. The NFC now, you got the Los Angeles Rams. They could clinch a playoff berth. They need a win, or they need the Vikings and Bears to tie, and they play the Jets. They play the Jets this weekend. So that looks like they could be actually clinching this weekend just by who they're playing. New Orleans Saints, they actually have a chance to clinch the NFC South. They need to win, and they need the Bucs to lose, or a tie and the Bucs to get a tie. So, and they're playing the Chiefs, so that's not a given either. So Seattle actually can clinch a playoff berth. They have to win, and the Vikings and Bears have to tie. And the Buccaneers, they could actually clinch a playoff berth with a win and a Vikings and Bears tie. So those are the teams that could actually clinch either a playoff or win their division this weekend with a victory.
Okay. And we're going to have a pop quiz on that. You have to get at least a 90% after the show in order for you to be eligible for one of our sponsors' prizes. So I hope you were listening for that. Okay. I want to say that we have some folks in the comments section. Brad Olson, Skull Vikings, good to see you as well. The boss is here. Mike Gibbons, Philly sports fan, is here as well. Oscar Toledo, the gentleman that makes the Bocadillos. I'm glad you had a chance to be here and that you had a chance. I actually showed off my Boca for him. Thanks again. Mr. Matter of Fact, Matteo Gutz is in here as well. Hey, Matteo, you need to call into my show as well one of these times, and we'll go from there. Now, I want to say probably the highlight of my week is getting a chance and getting ready when we have special guests here. Okay. And we are fortunate here that we are going to bring in two of the really heavies for fans here. And by the way, if you don't like where you are, I can flip you. Joe, if you want to be under Fred, because you've got that New York thing going, let me know, if you don't mind being under me, because if not, I'll move you.
No, I'm fine, man. I'm fine.
Okay. Again, folks, for the Sunday night game, we have the New York G-Man in my closest Chris Berman.
I like it.
To the Cleveland Browns. I would like to say again, we are joined by Joe. It's Rubeck, right?
It's Rubeck, yep.
Rubeck. And I saw the name and I said, wasn't that Steven Seagal's character in that really awful movie? But then I looked, it's Ryback.
It's Ryback, yeah.
Okay. So again, because that was something that's like, Joe, don't call me Casey, aka Steven Seagal, Rubeck, and Bukdog Walters of Cleveland. And Joe, I'm going to start with you first. Please tell the audience a little bit about yourself and what made you become LPG. And I'll let you folks, if you haven't figured it out by now what he is, Joe's going to tell all about himself. So I'm just going to shut up.
Well, first, man, I really appreciate having me on here. So thank you for that. So let's see, license plate guy. Hey, look, just like probably everybody on here, you are a fan of your team because, either your mom, your dad, your grandmother, your grandfather, somebody takes you back. And especially in New York, you're bred into the family. So if I wasn't a Giant fan, I think I would have been tossed out of the street. But how I became license plate guy. You know, I was 16 years old. My dad brought me to motor. My mom brought me to motor vehicles. I got G1 ants on my plate. My dad dared me to wear it to a game. I did. Giant fans are superstitious. People in the section were like, "You got to wear it again." One plate became 2 plates, became 3 plates, and let's just fast forward. It's still on my car today, and now I have 95 plates that I rock to the games. I've been going to Giant games at home. I haven't missed a game in over 40 years, and home and away, this was my 20th completed year. And I say 20th completed because I got to go to 4 games this year. MetLife not having any fans. I didn't get to go to a couple on the road, but I did get to go to a lot. So everybody else in this world gets an asterisk, so I'm taking an asterisk as well.
Yeah, tell them to pack sand. You're good to go. Yeah, this is an asterisk year. Okay, and thank you for that. By the way, if I come up back to New York for to the Meadowlands, and it's for a Giants game, because I won't ever go there again for that other team that inhabits.
Their little sister, the Giants' little sister.
Yeah,
we definitely, you know what? We definitely call him little brother, and I have to be honest with you. I don't, for the life of me. Look, I've been to every stadium 10 times over. I just don't understand in a large market like where the Giants and Jets play. I don't understand the sharing of the stadium. I never did. I never will. It makes no sense.
Why?
But then it makes no sense to me because, now that we went into this PSL and everybody's doing it, we pay for the stadium. So that means they paid twice and they got all of that. They just should have had their own stadium. When MetLife was built, the Jets should have moved into the city or somewhere else. I refuse to understand why they do that.
Okay, and the one thing I also like about Joe is not a spring chicken, and I say that with nice aplomb, and we can both rock some really long hair.
Yeah, you know it, baby. Let's go.
Well, I have mine up in the ponytail though, because I needed to, for you later on, maybe I'll unstring it. But
fair enough. Let it flow, baby. Let it flow.
I was eating earlier, and if I don't do it, it just goes. I start eating it. So
I get that too.
So I get that. Now, not to be outdone here, and I want to say that much aplomb and thank you to Bukdog Walters. I reached out to him when I said, first off, when I needed a Browns fan, I had one guy in mind first, and that was you. Okay, Buck. So I wanted you to know you were the first person on my mind. So thank you for that. And I appreciate you were right there. You were saying, hey, I'd love to do it in a minute. Buck, tell me a bit about yourself. Actually, tell us all about yourself and what makes you tick.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I don't think he can hear us.
Can you hear us? I think he might be frozen.
No, he's moving.
He's moving?
Buck. Wait, okay.
Can you hear us? Buck?
No. He's so fired up for the game, he can't even speak.
He's motivated.
It's motivated.
It's motivation. That's a look of motivation. There you go.
Barely.
Yo, you can barely hear us? Okay. I that sucks. I mean, trust me, I can scream and I'm pretty loud, and I know Joe can. Fred, he's a pussy, so you might not be able to hear him.
You can hear me. I can turn my stuff up.
But if you didn't hear me, I'm sorry, Buck. I said, tell the audience more about you and your affinity and love for the Cleveland Browns, sir.
Say that again.
Oh, there he is. Oh, I can hear him clear, too.
Okay, yeah, we can hear you well.
Yeah, we can hear you clear.
Okay. Tell us why you love the Browns. Why do you
I just grown up.
love
Poop.
the Browns?
I've grown up watching the Browns. I started going to games in 1980. I've had season tickets for over 35 years. I've also went to Buckeye games for over 40 years. I'm a member of Pro Football's Ultimate Fan Association, the Elite SuperFans, Tailgating Hall of Fame. I do a weekly NFL pregame show on Sports for America. I also, like you, Captain Jack, broadcast the Browns on Colorcast. I'm doing this game. I do high school football, and I also do a Browns report during high school football and basketball all year.
Okay. So basically, you're lazy and you don't do anything. Buck, please tell me you're hearing me.
He's like, yeah.
Buck, can you hear me?
Turn up your phone. Can he turn up his phone? Turn up the volume. Volume.
Pump up the volume. Pump up the
All the
volume.
way up.
Pump up the volume. Dance.
Oh, it's all the way up. Okay. Can you hear us now?
Okay. I'm going to type. I'm going to type. Okay. Thank you for that. Okay, one thing.
Spotty.
Thank you, Buck. Okay. Now, okay, I'm going to flip this coin. Buck, you call the coin. Okay, you heard that?
I'm dying over here.
Coin flip. Oh, wait, I'll write that too. Coin flip. Buck.
LP's like, what am I getting myself into?
Okay.
The life of Brown fans.
Okay.
I traded all in for that record.
Yeah.
Okay. Buck. All heads or tails?
You, Buck.
Cap, you speaking, you slowing it down is not any better for it.
Okay. Joe, call the coin.
I got it. Tails.
Tails never fails.
Tails never fails, baby.
I don't know where the coin is.
What is this, comedy hour?
Yeah.
I hope that's not an indication how the Sunday night football game is going to go.
Okay.
That's exactly how it's gonna go.
Okay. Heads is the Navy. Tails is this, okay? And you called heads or tails?
I called whatever's gonna pop up first. I called tails.
It's tails.
All right. I'm winning already.
Tails.
He lost
ahead,
another
Lynn.
coin.
Yeah, he had a two-headed coin.
Joe, go ahead. Why or do you want to defer? Do you want to let Buck go?
Oh no! By all means, let me tell you why the New York Giants are gonna beat the Cleveland Browns on Sunday Night Football.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm done. No. Look. What a horrible year and years, unfortunately, the Giants have been going through. Every time there's some glimpse of hope, something else comes out of the woodwork. So look, the Giants are playing in a really crappy division this year. There's no secrets that the East they're not playing up to par with everybody else. I mean, Jesus, even the Bills are over there in first place, over there in second place. So look, the deal is this. Yes, Garrett has COVID, but Garrett has not been too friendly to Giants fans anyway. Right about now, he's 50-50 with the fan base, maybe even 60-40 on the negative side. Not saying that that's the worst because, Joe Judge is leading him in the right direction. But so Kitchens is going to take over. Now, look, he might be the reason why the Giants squeak one out. He might be the reason, and we'll just call it a revenge game. He probably has been staying up all night. He won't sleep tonight. He won't sleep tomorrow. And he'll put together some game plan. Now, look, the biggest question is, can Kitchens play quarterback? We got a big problem on our hands at QB. Daniel Jones has a couple of leg issues. So either he's going out there like Lieutenant Dan or Colt McCoy is going to be the quarterback on Sunday night. We got flexed out. We moved the Cowboys out so we could flex the game with the Browns. And to be honest with you, unless the Giants come up with some killer game plan, and I do believe they will come ready, maybe Colt McCoy gets the start and leads the Giants to another victory like he did in Seattle. I know the Browns have several players that are out. Obviously, I'm very upset that Odell couldn't be playing. I mean, but that injury was many, many weeks ago.
Right.
So it is what it is. I believe the Giants defense will come to play, even though Bradbury is now out, and he is by far the top 3 cornerbacks in the league, but he's also on the COVID list. So the Giants have to come with a steady game plan, unlike what they did for the Cardinals last week.
Okay. Buck.
Uh-oh. I can't even read that, by the way, so Buck can't.
I can read it. Why will the Browns win, Buck? Your turn.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Why are the Browns going to win? Because it's one of the most important games they've had in years. They can't slip down too much farther. This season on the brink of the playoffs will be wasted. Baker Mayfield's playing some of the best football of his career. They've scored 40 points in their last 2. 7 times they've scored more than 30. For the Giants, they've only scored more than 20 points 4 times. Their defense is very solid. Their total defense is pretty good. They don't score a lot of points. We sacked the quarterback. They've given up 41 sacks. We're going to get after them. They like giving the football away. We'll gladly take it. It's going to be a very tight game. But I look for Chubb, Hunt, the offense to get their 30 points again. And I'm looking for a 30-14 game this week.
Okay. Hey, this is why you have this, just in case you have audio issues, okay? And say, Joe, any last comments, Joe?
No, actually, Buck brought up some great points and the stuff that I'm scared about. The Browns really do get after the quarterback, and the Giants do cough up the ball. So if the ball security is going to be a problem, just like all you guys, every team, you win the turnover battle, chances are you're going to win the game. They do put up a lot of points. I do not believe that Chubb and company is going to come prepared. I don't think you're going to run all over the Giants. If they're going to win the Browns, it's going to have to be in the air. And like Buck said, I mean, Baker's playing some unbelievable ball. So I believe it's going to come down to that. But again, the Giants are playing, believe it or not, they're playing for a playoff spot as well. And they can't fall down, further past Washington, who's got a game up. So it's like a playoff game Sunday night. That's what it's going to boil down to.
Basically, in the last time the New York Giants and Cleveland played, the Giants ended up getting them 27-13, November 27th, 2016. There's another thing you got to look at is Baker Mayfield right now is 7-1 in non-divisional games this year.
Yeah.
So that's something to kind of look at there too as well, because he is playing good ball. But it's not to say that they don't have any kinks in their armor, because that defense has been giving up a lot of points. So
28 per game.
Yeah, 28 per game. But you're right, Buck. Unfortunately, the Giants don't score a lot of points. If the Giants are going to beat the Browns, they're going to have to have at least one score by their defense.
Yeah.
And the Browns, the 4 games they've lost, they lost a turnover margin. That's where it all starts and stops. The Giants defense have created 20 takeaways, but they also have 20 giveaways, 10 fumbles. Our dear friend Colt McCoy, love him dearly, and good old Freddie Kitchen going to be calling the plays.
I got to tell you, that's where it's going to get pretty tricky for you because you're literally probably going to have Colt McCoy in his headset and Freddie Kitchens talking to him. I think that's mind-boggling to it. What a revenge game it would be.
Definitely, especially the way the kid would let go.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it'll be nice to see Kitchen on the sideline with his Waffle House menu.
Hey, Buck, I was ready for you. See, I said, any last comments? But I'm glad that you can hear. You can hear that. Can you hear me?
I can right now, but it comes and goes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I apologize for it. And again, I'm sorry that there's audio issues, but this is exactly why I have this, so that in case there's an audio issue, I can communicate on camera. And again, so Joe, you're saying the Giants are going to get that squeaker. Buck's saying that it's going to be the Browns. Did I hear you both right? Because I was writing. I apologize. I missed a lot of it.
Yep, I think the Browns.
Okay.
The Browns got to have this game, or else they have to really scramble to stay in the playoff spot. The Giants, this is a tough game. When a month ago, I'm like licking my chops over the Giants. Then they go win 4 games. Now I'm like, holy crap, this is going to be a ball game.
Not only did they win some games.
Again, I'm still worried about Jones not playing because he has leg issues. And I'm definitely upset at Bradbury on the COVID list because, you could seriously leave Bradbury out there on Landry, which would be a battle in itself because Landry's phenomenal. And I think that would have offset, given Landry maybe 3-4 catches, and that's nothing for him. 3-4 catches, holding him under a hundo. And now I have no idea what's going to happen because the Giants are already shorthanded. So, yes, if the Giants are going to win, they're going to win by a squeaker. And Buck's over here telling me we're going to get blown out. Oh.
But it's not like the Giants don't have a chance because they did knock down Seattle, who has a really high-powered offense. And they
correct. That's correct. In Seattle with Colt McCoy. So, like we say, guys, anything can happen any given Sunday. So,
absolutely.
That's what I'm really hoping. The Giants were coming, kicking. They played so well to put themselves in a position. And don't get me wrong, in a shoddy NFC East, but they put themselves in a playoff contention at whatever record it is. And then they went and put up probably the worst game of the year versus the Cardinals. And then here we are back to the Browns. Look, should Daniel Jones have played last week? I don't really think Joe Judge gives a crap what anybody thinks. If he heard from the doctors that Daniel Jones is ready to go and his hammy is good to go, he put him in there. If he doesn't play Sunday night, then I think they killed themselves with 2 games back to back. But I'm not going to cry about it. It is what it is. Injuries are part of the game. Suck it up and next man up.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Giants are playing hard for Joe Judge. You can see that, and that's a dangerous team. We just barely squeaked by the Jags a couple weeks ago, so it doesn't matter about the record. Like they say, on any given Sunday, you got to lace them up. You got to play hard, and hopefully we can get to that 4th quarter and just hand the ball over to Nick Chubb.
Yeah, Buck, that's actually a great point because it really does start with the coach. The Giants went from Coughlin to McAdoo to Shermer to Judge. And I look at it this way. I think McAdoo is a good football, mind. I think Shermer is a good football mind. I think Judge is a good football coach.
Right.
And, at 1-7, those guys were playing for him. There wasn't one single word you heard poorly in that locker room where 3-4 weeks ago you heard how they were crushing what's his name over there in Dallas. So So you're right. They play hard for the man, and then they went on that mini streak, and then they played terrible versus the Cardinals. So it really, which Giant team is going to show up? Is it going to be the one pushing for the playoff, or is it going to be the ones versus the Cardinals? So I guess we're going to find out Sunday night because we got flexed into it, baby.
That's right. Dallas got removed from the flex, and they moved the Cleveland Giants. So let's not disappoint, fellas. Let's make it a game.
Please.
Okay, 2 comments first. Joe, this is for you.
Yeah, I loved it. I saw you playing it. I love it.
Okay, because he said I had to go. No, not all natural, because that would entail me throwing everything off, and I don't want to gross out all the people there. But the second thing is Buck, and again, I apologize for the issues, but since you were wearing half of an OSU jersey when we weren't talking before you guys came on, did you get a chance to listen to us talk about the college football playoffs?
Absolutely.
Okay. I know you're about ready. I'm gonna punch that mother. Okay. Talk to me. Why is the Ohio State University representing which division is it? Because I know it's like this guy's division and that guy's division in the Big Ten. By the way, I don't like this East, West, North, South crap. You guys have like real division names, which I do like. But why is Ohio State there representing that division when they bent all of the rules together? Now, I know they're the best team in the conference. We all know that.
That's it.
Yep.
Well, they've got 5 wins, and even if they would have played Michigan and lost, they still would have won their division. So that's the reasoning that they altered it. This knucklehead Big Ten commissioner backed them into a corner where they couldn't have any buys or schedule any other games. He tried to play hardball. Then they finally get out on the field. For the Buckeyes, Justin Fields, Olave, it's all in a little secret shell who's going to play tomorrow. And the Northwestern Wildcats play defense. Fitzgerald is an excellent coach. And if they half-step it, they will get beat because our defense reminds me of the Browns. They just need some work.
Nah, they're not as bad as the Raiders defense. Trust me on that. So
yeah, the Raiders are giving up 30 points a game.
They were earlier, so yeah. And they did last night.
There you go.
There you go. We don't score 30 and the other team does. And again, hey, Buck, thank you for being here. Joe, thank you for being here. Gentlemen, any final thoughts that you want to go out with? Any causes that you wish to express? Again, because Buck, like I said, you need to work more often. You're too lazy out there. You got nothing else going on in your life. I don't know whether you heard that joke or not, because I was just deadpan and you were like this. So,
yeah.
But
I have something to add there, Jack. I happen to love what's going on in the NFL right now. I love how the Browns and the Bills, with their records, I like the new blood. I like what's going on. We need more of that. We need more of the teams that were, not doing so well to start doing well and leading their divisions. We got new winners coming around, and that's what it's all about. I love it.
Okay, Buck.
And for me, it's Nicole and the Elite SuperFans, what they've done, Bocadillas, the toys, the camaraderie. I mean, it's amazing what this woman has done. And just hats off to Nicole, all her administrators, and what they do. This show, just showing we're all football fans. That's the bottom line. And we can have fellowship, sportsmanship, enjoy the game. Somebody wins, somebody loses, and just enjoy the games.
I got to tell you, Buck, phenomenal point. I appreciated being put into this, this group. I'm honored, to be honest with you. It's actually pretty cool to know that the platform that we're given as super fans, when we give back and raise money for charity, which I constantly do, and I know a lot of you do. I think when we get noticed for that and get put into groups like this, it is awesome. And by the way, Kat, I actually bought a couple of toys because I needed some little LPGs as gifts, and I love them.
Oh, they're
so
awesome.
Keep pushing that. Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah. And if, like I said, if you're going to do the causes, go into Players Congress and Shoes for Kids, guys. I mean, those are things that I've been pimping on my show because I know the gentlemen that run it. And, you know, if you're going to help the NFL players of old, definitely Players Congress and Shoes for Kids for Jerry. I actually got some I'm going through my shoes. I said, I got to figure out a way to get these shoes to Jerry. So, again, folks, thank you for what you do, all your causes, for being out there. And Buck, if I can get out to the dog pound, I definitely going to look you out, brother. And again, I know look for Joe. Hopefully, I'll be off my diet so I can actually eat good, healthy food. And I don't know what there is in Cleveland, Buck, and that's not a joke. That's not me a straight
Rock
line.
and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, no, I mean I'm talking food. I've already been to the
there's all
Rock and
kinds
Roll Hall
of
of
food
Fame.
there.
I've already been to the Rock and Roll. Although I didn't realize how
Cleveland's
large it
known
was.
more.
Sir?
I didn't hear what he said.
I actually live in Columbus, but Cleveland's probably best known for pierogies.
There you go. Polish dish.
Okay. So you got pierogies, halupkis, and garachkis. You know what garachkis are?
Pierogies.
No. There's pierogies, halupkis, and garachkis. You know what garachkis are? That's what you use to open up
You
your
got
garage.
me.
But I just want to tell LPJ and Bukdog, I appreciate you guys joining us tonight. Hey, I wish both your teams the best. I hope that both teams stay healthy for the remainder of the season. And it was very nice meeting you, gentlemen.
All right. Hey, one last note, Fred. This is for you mostly. I know right now, Panchabilla will be looking down. I spent some time with him at the draft, and he'd probably be looking down, loving life right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Pancho was a great guy. Any chance that we got him up in Buffalo, we were up there to meet him and greet with him and hang out with him. Great guy, great family. Awesome. The whole Bila family is really something special. And
that's awesome, man.
He's definitely being missed by the Bills Mafia for sure.
No doubt.
Hey, Joe, make sure you get my friend request up on Facebook, my friend.
No doubt. And if you guys are on Twitter, Instagram, License Plate Guy it is.
You got it.
Oh, yeah. Buck?
Buck was sign language. Sign language Buck was going.
Okay. Do you hear me again?
Oh, I think that's your answer.
Now forget it. Now you got Circle of Doom. Forget it.
Okay. Guys.
All right, thanks
again, Joe.
it.
Thanks again.
No doubt.
Any time you want to talk in and get us on, it'd be great. So please do that. All right. And okay, Buck, thank you for being here, sir. Thank you.
I don't think he heard you.
Okay. Well, let me see. One more time. Can't leave it there.
Thank you.
There we go. Got that? Thanks. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, there we go.
Those are nice guys. Nice.
Yeah, Buck's awesome. I'll get with him. Hey, Tiffany, if you're on, hit up Buck while we're talking about the games, because this way I didn't want him to be hanging out and listen to us, BS again. Let me get back to the other portion. Again, if you are watching right now, and I thank you for doing that. Let me get our 2-spot up. We're going to be talking about, obviously, the rest of the games this week. I mean, I'm not even going to touch the friggin' Thursday night game. I know we talked a lot about the Thursday night game last week. I'm distraught. But such is life. It's what it is being a Raiders fan. There was a lot of crappy calls by the officials.
And how about that's the Chargers' first division win since 2018?
Yes, in 10 games. The first time that they've won in 10 games. And the Raiders should have lost in regulation, but there was, like I said, a lot of crappy calls on both.
I thought they were going to win it, though, to be honest with you. I thought when they had that last possession, they were going to get down there, kick the field goal, and it was going to be over.
Well, see, that's why I said you get down to the 2-yard line, run Mariota.
Why didn't they? They couldn't stop Mariota in the fourth quarter. At the end of the fourth quarter, they could not stop him. He was picking up chunk yards. Why you stop doing that? I don't get it. They were running the ball well, and they went away from it.
Right. Well, that's not what I was. Okay, let's go to the games this week. And I know that we already had the first one, and I ain't talking about it anymore. It's a bummer. Hey, the Buffalo Bills have a game tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 4:30, another primetime game, a national televised game. Buffalo Bills taking on the Denver Broncos. And, I mean, the Bills have been putting up averaging 27.6 points per game. And Denver, you don't know what you're going to get from them guys. 1 week they're up, 1 week they're down. So Buffalo's just pretty much got to stay focused, go in there, and hopefully we walk out with a victory, knowing that we have a chance to win the AFC division title for the first time since 1985. So that's what I'm hoping right now, and hoping that we come out healthy.
Yeah, I was going to say Buffalo, or I should say the odds maker, are giving Denver 6. I mean, that's a lot considering that they are the home team. And again, with the way things are with the Bills, they are the class of the AFC East. I think nothing but good things are going to happen for Buffalo. I remember the year that they, what they were watching the screen to see if they were going to get into playoffs, and people were watching, the
team. After we defeated Miami Dolphins down there, we had to watch the Bengals-Ravens game.
Yeah. I don't think you have to watch it this time. You guys are going to get in real easy. So again, that's an easy win for Buffalo. The other game, which is the Saturday night game, in very cold. I mean, I don't know what did you? I know you got all your stats. Did you pull up the stat on how cold it's going to be this Saturday night?
No, I didn't look and see how cold it was going to be in Denver. Actually, Denver is supposed to be seasonal, so it's supposed to be not too cold. As far as Packers and Panthers, I'm not really sure of what it's going to be, because in Lambeau, they could get a foot of snow overnight. You know what I mean? Just like Buffalo area, you can do the same thing. But I don't know what the weather forecast is. I do know that the Packers are 13-3. I'm sorry, 13-2 at home since 2019, including the playoffs. So they have a chance to. Actually, they're in first place right now. They could hold that and get home field advantage. So I'm thinking they're going to roll right over top of the Panthers.
So they can lock up home field with the win against Carolina this weekend.
Not a win. Not the Packers. Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because they're odds makers they're giving 8.5.
They're in a dogfight right now with the Saints, and with Drew Brees coming back, and they bumped that. They moved ahead of them because the Saints lost to the Eagles. Right. It's going to be both of you guys.
I tell you, they got the tiebreaker, so as long as they stay at least one game ahead of them, and I think they're 2 games ahead of them now, right?
I think just one game. They got the same record, actually.
Okay. Well, then I still think it's going to be too much Green Bay on a Saturday. Now let's go to the Sunday games, and I don't know if these are in any order. Okay, yeah, according these are the 1:00 games. San Francisco is going out to visiting Texas. I mean, I hate saying that these are 2 dog-awful, or should say god-awful teams, especially when you're talking about God in Texas. But god-awful comes to mind for, the Cowboys were not supposed to be this horrific. And then the Niners obviously are coming off, a Super Bowl last year, but they just suck. And let me see what the line is on that. I'm looking. Dallas is giving 3. or are +3. So wow, they get the home field 3. I think that the Niners are going to be coming back, but I hate saying it. I think that the Cowboys will win on this one.
Yeah, the Cowboys have won 5 of the last 6 games versus the San Francisco 49ers. But you also got to look at the 49er team. They are starting to get some players back. They've been banged up all year. There's a chance Ezekiel Elliott might not play for Cowboys. He's kind of banged up. I'm going to say the 49ers edge these guys. I think Kittle's going to be back, and I think a couple more pieces will be back for them. And that defense is starting to roll. So I think that it's going to be 49ers against Andy Dalton, and I'm going to have to give the edge to the Niners.
Okay, and by the way, folks, if you are watching, remember we will be taking calls at the end of this segment. So if you got something you want to say, just keep it on the back burner because we will definitely be taking calls from our audience. So don't get too frustrated yet. We'll get there. The next game I got is Seattle going cross country again to play the Washington football team. It has been that Smith is out for the game. Haskins is going to start against the Seahawks. I tell you, if they had Alex Smith, they would have at least a snowball's chance in hell. But without Alex Smith, with Haskins, who hasn't really played well this year, and definitely, maybe he's been getting the reps this week in practice, but still, he doesn't have that rapport that Alex Smith has. I think that the Hawks are going to take this at least by 7, if not more.
The Washington Redskins, they've won 7 out of the 8 last games against Seattle. And with that defense that the Washington football team has, that kid Chase Young is a beast. And the problem right now with Seattle is that that offensive line has not been holding up. And Russell Wilson's been getting hit quite a bit in these games. So if they can't control that offensive line, can't control that front four of the Washington football team, they're going to have their hands full again. And I want to say that Washington might squeak this one out. Washington's been playing good football. They've been beating some good football teams. So I'm not going to count these guys out. And I'd like to give the edge to Washington, but not by a lot.
Okay, well, see, again, I love the fact you got Vontez Sweat, you got Chase Young, you got Kerrigan. That's 3 formidable guys in your front 7, and their other linebacker who was there to get that interception against the Steelers the last time that they played him again. Washington has a fantastic defense. The problem is that Seattle can score on fantastic defenses. Now they got beat by New York in their house, and I know that was, everybody was looking at that like, wow, that's just amazing that they did it. I don't think that they're going to do it twice. Granted, they got to go to the East Coast to play an NFC opponent this time, but I think that when it comes down to it, I think that the Seattle has a bit too much offense.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. The Vikings are going to be hosting the Bears. The Vikings, I'm trying to remember, was it last week they got beat by the Bucs because a guy couldn't kick a field goal or an extra point?
Yeah, that was last week, the Minnesota Vikings. They were in that game, and then the Bucs just pulled right away from them. Tom Brady, he didn't have huge numbers, but he did throw 2 touchdown passes, 1 to Gronk. Minnesota was in it, but again, a kicking issue and kind of cost them the game.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't see Minnesota losing twice. On the same circumstances. I don't know. I mean, they can probably get somebody from the stands to kick if they need to. And Minnesota definitely, and as long with the Chargers kicker, they both suck, so they'll probably be looking for work if not soon.
But you know what? The Minnesota Vikings have had a problem with kickers for the last couple of years now. You think back, they had that one cold game where all they had to do was kick the field goal. They would have went to the playoffs, and he missed it. I believe it was Bailey.
It was Bailey, yeah.
And he ended up getting fired. So they got to correct this problem because now it's starting to cost you games. And as far as going up against the Bears, I think that Bears defense, if they could stop the run of the Minnesota Vikings and get after Cousins, they got a chance of pulling a victory out down there too. Yeah,
and also they got rid of Carlson, their kicker, and we picked him up the next week. And Carlson's been a really good kicker for the Raiders. I mean, just so happens that you were talking about Minnesota kickers, so they got to figure something out.
Yep.
Did you pick that one already, Fred?
Yeah, I just said I'll take the Bears on that one.
Oh, okay. Then we'll just like Tiffany says, we're polar opposites. I think Minnesota squeaks by. This is the game of the week as far as for those that are looking for vitriol and hate. The Dolphins go down, the Patriots go down to Miami. Okay, yep. And I tell people this, and you know this, Fred. The Patriots lose at least one game a year to the Dolphins. And normally it's down here in Miami.
Yep.
Last year it was the last game in New England, which shocked the hell out of people. Brian Flores has got that team playing well. And I think that it's going to happen again where, the Miami defense is just going to be a bit too much for Cam Newton. I mean, Cam Newton needs to start making plans, if he hasn't already, for golf courses and see where he's going to be playing. He's on a 1-year deal, and he's definitely not going to be the quarterback next year. I think it's going to be too much Miami.
Well, since Bill Belichick has been a head coach, he's 7-21 against rookie quarterbacks. So I got a feeling that Belichick's going to have something for this young quarterback into it. And I got a feeling the Patriots are going to edge them. They got embarrassed, the Patriots, and I don't see them getting embarrassed down there. I know what you're saying, but now you got to remember Flores is going against Belichick, who is actually the one that helped him become a head coach. So I think it's going to be teacher against student, and I give it to the Patriots just because of Belichick being there.
Okay, well, that should happen last year, and the Dolphins went up there and beat the Patriots in Tom Brady's last home game, if I'm not mistaken. Or did he have a playoff game? I can't remember.
He had a playoff game, and they lost to the Tennessee Titans.
Okay, well,
pick in Foxborough, he threw that pick.
Right in the penultimate game. I said his name. Slap my hand. I hate saying that bastard's name. Okay, the Ravens are going to be hosting the Jags. Jags are, I think the best thing we can say about the Jaguars is that we have the return of the porn stash quarterback with Minshew coming back. But if you think Gardner Minshew is going to be any more prepared to play a Ravens team that is so happy that they beat the Browns the last time that they went out there, I think that they'll probably win by maybe double digits, but at least it's going to be close to that. I think it's going to be Baltimore in a laugher.
Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens, they've scored 34 plus points the last two games. So I got a feeling the Jags aren't going to be able to compete. They're going to run all over them, and I can see them putting up another 34 points on the Jaguars.
Okay.
Especially that they're being at home.
Right. All right, let me see here. Tampa Bay is traveling to Atlanta. Normally, this is I don't want to call it a trap game for the Bucs, but again, normally when you would have somebody like Jameis Winston as your quarterback, well, Jameis ain't there anymore. He's playing in. Actually, he isn't even playing in Nolans.
He's in New Orleans.
Beat out by Taysom Hill. The Falcons normally play them tight. I will say that the Falcons have played well under Raheem Morris, who is obviously the former coach of the Bucs prior to the guy that was the offensive coordinator, Dirk Cutter, who succeeded him, and then Cutter got fired for the present coach. What's his nose? I can't remember his name. Bucs coach.
Bruce Arians.
Bruce Arians. There you go. I think it's going to be easy for the Bucs this time, probably by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, you got two teams going in two different directions, and the Buccaneers are trying to prepare themselves to get into the playoffs, and you still got Tom Brady down there. So I think between Tom Brady and Ryan, I think that Tom Brady's going to edge them, and they're probably going to win by 10 points.
Oh yeah, okay. This one's easy. Tennessee is hosting Detroit. Easy, Tennessee.
Yeah. I mean, you look at this Titans team. I mean, they just run the ball. They've got 35. They've averaged 35.3 points per game, And I don't see that changing this week against the Lions. The poor Lions, they got some issues going on over there. They need some more weapons. They need to find a head coach and get that organization right. But Tennessee Titans, I mean, again, they're playing for that division, and they're battling. So they're definitely gonna have that one game ahead going into it to get into the playoffs. So yeah, Titans all day.
All right. And what normally during the year is a really good game is when Houston travels up to Indy. And this is, like I said, this is normally a good game. Now, obviously, the Colts just laid it on the Raiders last week, and Houston, they're looking for people in the stands with some sort of receiving experience, kind of like the Eagles did a couple of years ago by getting guys out of the the Wawa to play receiver. Yeah. I wouldn't surprise me to get Houston doing that as well. I still say that this is going to be a tighter game than people think. I see Indy winning, but not by a blowout.
No, I mean, Indy and Houston just played each other just a couple weeks ago, and we saw Houston going in for the score, the go-ahead score, and they ended up fumbling the ball inside the 10-yard line. And then you look at this Colts team, the way the defense is playing, and Rivers looks rejuvenated out there with T.Y. Hilton. So, and they're still got a chance to take the division as well. So I'm going to give this to the Colts all day. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think the Colts are going to squeak this out.
Okay, now we start going into our 4 o'clock games. Battle of the Birds out in Glendale. Remember, Hurts came in on his first game last year and looked like an all-star. Kyler Murray played really well after not playing well the week prior. I think that one of the reasons why the Eagles surprised the Saints was there wasn't enough film on Hurts. They're at least got some now. I think that because it's a home game and the Eagles were living off of that one victory, I think that Eagles win streak stops at 1. I give me Arizona on that one.
I mean, you can look at this. You got Hurts and Murray, the battle of the dual threat quarterbacks from Oklahoma. So, I mean, Hurts played well. You got to give him that. I mean, this guy came out, he was balling, he was taking control of the offense. The Eagles looked like a totally different team with him out there on the offense. And, you know, it kind of motivated the Eagles defense as well. The defense got up for that game because they were backing up this young quarterback. I can see the same thing happen because the Cardinals, they got some injuries. They got some injuries still on the offensive side. And I think that the Eagles can go in there and shock some people. So I'm going to give this one to the Eagles.
Okay. Well, then, I mean, I can see it.
Yep.
But, you know, I since I got nothing to watch on Sunday, I might actually watch one of those games. But then I would definitely watch that game over this one. The Rams are hosting the Jets. So after the Jets looked like world beaters 2 weeks ago, they went over into Seattle and got thumped. So this is their second week in a row that they go to the other coast. Now, I don't know whether they traveled back, but I think they probably did. I mean, the Rams are just a great team anyway. And again, they're trying to make sure that they are a lock for the playoffs. They're not necessarily a lock right now, but they will be after this weekend. I think the Rams in a lot over the Jets.
Yeah, the Jets have scored fewer than 20 points 9 times this year. And now you're going up against a Rams defense that all they do is pressure the quarterback. It's going to be a long day for the Jets, and I think it's going to be a great day for the Rams. Rams will probably shut them out.
Oh, calling for the shutout. Okay, pretty ballsy.
Can't be scared.
This now, and why isn't this not the
flex game?
The flex game. The last of the 4 o'clock games, again, because we wanted to see Bukdog and Joe go at it here. That's why this isn't the flex game.
Right.
Kansas City is going into New Orleans, and you said it at the top of the broadcast. You got Drew Brees is going to be playing, and even if he gets a quick hook, Taysom Hill is going to be available, and still has been playing pretty well. The Chiefs, they've been squeaking by, and it's very hard to win in New Orleans, and I'll be kind in saying that. I think the Saints are going to be just a tiny bit too much for KC here.
And the Kansas City Chiefs right now, they have a 10-game road win streak, and it's the longest one in the NFL right now going. So now you're going down in Louisiana. Is Breeze going to come back? Is he going to be fully healthy? Is he going to be a little rusty? I mean, this is kind of a toss-up for me. But I think the Chiefs are probably going to continue getting lucky. Football gods watching down on them, and they pull this one out with like a late field goal or something.
So you're calling Kansas City to keep that streak up?
Yes.
Okay.
I want them to lose because it helps the Bills get to the number one. But.
Oh, yeah. I got you. We already spoken about the Browns-Giants game. We go to Monday night where you have at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, you got Pittsburgh coming into town. Normally this would be a really good game, no matter where it is. You got the Steelers and the Bengals who really hate each other, but Cincinnati's they've been god awful these past 2 years, and the fact that they lost Joe Burrow, I don't know. I think maybe either Kenny Anderson or Boomer Esiason might be brought back in to quarterback the Bengals. I don't know who the quarterback is for the Bengals. No matter who he is, they don't have enough. Pittsburgh, although they haven't been playing well the last 2 weeks with 2 L's on them, I don't think it goes to 3 games in a row. I like Pittsburgh. Yeah,
the Pittsburgh Steelers, they beat Cincinnati 10 games in a row already. The Bengals got a young team. They got some injuries. And the Steelers, too. I mean, there's no denying it. The Steelers are not the same team that won 11 games in a row. They got some injuries on that defensive side. They got some injuries on the offensive line, again, that they're dealing with. Ben Roethlisberger, I don't know if he's starting to show his age. I mean, he did on Sunday night. He did against Washington. He just doesn't look that mobile. They're not even doing a quarterback sneak. That's how bad the Pittsburgh Steelers are right now. They're probably only one team in the NFL that is not using their quarterback to do a quarterback sneak, and I think it's because of his age. And I still think there's an issue there with that elbow. But I got a feeling they're going to rebound against this Cincinnati team and pull out the win.
Okay. I'm not sure how many people we have in here, but this is when we go and we start having some phone calls. So let me get the phone number up first, and then I guess it would be better of me if I actually had my phone available. So we'll do that as well. If you want to talk about any game that you have during the week, if you want to comment on our guests, if you missed them, we had Joe in here talking about his Giants, and then we had Bukdog talking about his Browns. And again, I thank them both for their. It's like, no, somebody saying that I missed your show. It says, no, it's on now. No, it's on now. So there we go. Somebody was giving me a hint saying that they were trying to see if I had the show. The line is open again, 813-699-0834, 813-699-0834. If you got anything to say, we did have Marky Mark come in here talking about his Vikings, Mike DeRoche's 41. He was talking about the Buckeyes. I'm thinking, go Bucks. Yeah, because I don't think the Buccaneers are going to be scoring that many points, no matter who's quarterback. If you want to talk about anybody, please let me know. The line is open, 813-699-0834. And again, I want to thank Joe. I want to thank Bukdog. I want to thank you, Fred, because I know you always got your stuff in one sock, and that makes it very easy for me just to go off the cuff.
Absolutely. Hey, I like I said, I enjoy doing this show. I think it's a lot of fun, and I think this is something that we could grow and build and help. Anytime with anti-bullying, that this is part of the reason why we do this. And not only that, but we're bringing all NFL teams together as one. We're all in this together. We're not just one individual team. We're all the teams together. And, bringing on these super fans, I think it's great. I like listening to the different stories, their backgrounds. It's just a great idea. And I'm glad you're a part of it, Captain, and I'm glad you included me with this.
Oh, no, man. Like I said, I was lazy. I had nothing to do, so I figured that I would go do another show. So,
I would only be sitting in my hot tub having a couple of drinks anyways on a Friday night.
Yeah. But, like I said, I definitely enjoy it here. And, again, this is where we've spoken enough about it. Again, if you want to talk about your team now's the time to do it. The line is open, 813-699-0834. And by the way, if you start viewing our show, hopefully we'll have some things that we might be able to do giveaways with, keeping our fingers crossed there. So make sure that you are participating in the show. And this is where you get your chance to talk to me. Say, Jack, you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
There you go.
Or Fred, I agree with you. I'm a Fred sycophant. So, and if you don't know what sycophant means, look it up in the dictionary. So,
yeah, perfect time to call in and tell us what you think your team's going to do this weekend. Who do you think is going to be the star of your team and help you get a victory this weekend? Give us a call so we know. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, keep on the show because we do have some sponsors that will be doing some giveaways. If you're in a couple groups and you like the show, be sure to share it. Be sure to like it. Go to the page. It's the Elite Superfan page. Go ahead and like it and follow the Elite Superfan on Instagram. I know that she's always got giveaways and stuff going on, and she does a great job. So be sure to like and share.
Yeah, and I just saw that Mr. Matter of Fact's going to do a song pretty up. You're not a bully. I like that.
That's
so
cool.
Thank you there, sir. Thank you. And again, I'm not sure who's in here. I know Mr. Matter of Fact's in here. So again, by the way, Mr. Matter of Fact, did you know? And I know that a week, Jack. Oh, it's in a week. Okay.
I thought he was calling you weak.
I was going to say, it's WEEK. I'm hoping that he's just saying it's only in a week. Okay, there you go. No, and by the way, Mr. Matter of Fact, if you want this Josh Jacobs football, not mine, but there is one left. Make sure you go to Nico Sports, or actually Nico Sports, ask for Joe, and then once you get to Joe, you tell Joe that Captain Jack sent you, and there's only one left. It is a Josh Jacobs autographed football, and I tell you, I would show you all the portions of this football, but it was a pain in the ass to get it to sit right in the box to where it is, and then I had to put all the rest of the stuff on it. Just trust me, it's a beautiful football. One left. Nico Sports. In fact, here you go. I'll give you the number there, Mr. Matter of Fact. The number is, and they're closed now, but it's 800-345-2868. Let me see if I can remember that. In fact, let me see if I can copy it. Okay. There we go. I'm going to copy it here. Make it really easy. I'm copying here. Nico Sports for the Josh Jacobs autographed football. Talk to Joe and tell Joe Captain Jack sent you. Isn't it amazing? I actually have to move my lips and talk while I'm typing. Do you find yourself doing that?
But, no, I'd be walking chew gum.
Yeah. I mean, it's better than me typing and you guys not hearing anything.
Right. It's
one of those things. So there it is. The Josh Jacobs Las Vegas Raiders football. There's one left. Nico Sports. The number is listed. You got to talk to Joe. Say you want Joe's extension. And then when you talk to Joe, you got to tell Joe that Captain Jack sent you because there's one left. No, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome. But like I said, it's done now. So call early on Monday. Now, by the way, they're in Missouri, and I said that correctly. Missouri. So there you go. They're in Central Time. So call early on Monday, Mr. Matter of Fact. And again, Mr. Matter of Fact, hey, I got shows on YouTube too, partner. Hopefully I'll have you show up there and talking some Raiders with me. I miss you. Again, line is open, 813-699-0834. Thank you for being here, by the way. And we'll look forward to that You're Not a Bully song next week. It's next week because he's not calling Jack Week. At least we found out that it was WEEK, not WEAK. So there you go. If you want to talk about your team, now's the time to do it. something moved. You can hear it when something, maybe I'm too close. There's gremlins in the house.
The Raider Gremlins.
Yeah, Raider Gremlins. If you want to talk about your team, please call in 813-699-0834. We were talking, and while we're waiting on this, and we were talking like a couple weeks ago about and you have the list out, and you probably have it in your notes. The revolving door. There you go. Hey, you got it there, Mr. Matter of Fact. Thank you there, sir. The revolving door quarterback. Now, we saw last night how Marcus Mariota played well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was without getting a lot of snaps during the week. We also saw that, and again, it was crushing to see Derek Carr get hurt. And, like I said, the fact that he hasn't missed games, the last time he did was, 27? Because I remember that was the year I went out to Denver. Yeah. And that was when he got the broken back. And I was there for that Denver game where he broke his back. So, and they had the kid that used to play for you, the quarterback up there came in.
Nate Peterman.
No, not Peterman. The kid from Florida State.
Oh, E.J. Manuel.
E.J. Manuel came in for him.
Yeah,
and right. E.J. played pretty well. I was actually surprised. But you saw Marcus Mariota there. Now, he's on a 2-year deal. And I'm hoping that the Raiders actually think about keeping him around.
Yeah, because if Carr can't go again this week, and they're saying 2 weeks, and Mariota, he could be pretty much out there showing off his skills for some team to pick him up. And I'll tell you, I thought he looked impressive last night. He was decisive with the ball. He knew when to run. And that's the old Marcus Mariota that we know when the reason why Tennessee Titans drafted him. It was just so happens that, his play wasn't the greatest down in Tennessee. But that's why it's important for these NFL teams to have a capable backup. Because if your starting quarterback does go down, at least you have someone that's capable of running the offense. And Mariota did that. I think the fact is that Gruden might have even opened up the playbook a little bit more for him, to get that running, because we didn't see Derek Carr run as that much as Mariota is capable of doing. And that is actually part of his game.
Right. And actually, I think that, and you hit the nail on the head as well, is that I really think that one of the, okay, good to see you as well, Mr. Matter of Fact. Please be sure to tune in. We'll be looking for that song. Be sure to call Monday for that Josh Jacobs football punter. I tell you, the fact is with Gruden is still so damn conservative.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that one of the main problems, yes, that you saw that there was a problems with the Raiders defense, but I firmly believe that the Raiders also have a problem with John Gruden calling plays. And I would love it if he would do something like Andy Reid did and just get a real offensive coordinator, let him do the job. Yeah, they have an offensive coordinator in name, but he doesn't call plays. It's John Gruden.
Absolutely. And sometimes that's too much for a head coach to try to do it from the sideline. And then you got to keep track of all the other aspects of the game as far as defense, special teams, injuries. So, it is a lot. I feel that you should have an offensive coordinator. And I said the same thing about Buffalo, about having an offensive coordinator up in the press box, because you get a view of the whole field and you can actually see how the defense is lining themselves up, as to where if you're on the sideline, the view is totally different. You can't see the alignments. We had talked about that last year, and it was right after the Cleveland game I'm sorry, I'm drawing a fart. Dable actually ended up going up into the press box, and then everything changed. And then the play calling got better, because now you can see the field. You can see what the defense is lining up and their alignments are, who's playing off, who's playing on, So I just feel that you should have an offensive coordinator, and he should be up in the press box. And that's for that reason.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you can get the play calls in a lot faster being up in the press box, because you see the defense, how they're lining up. And you can also start reading and seeing what packages they're bringing out. Once you see the numbers come out on the field, now you know what play to call to counter that package that they have on defense.
I agree. And in fact, I also when I do, and Buck was talking about how we both call games for the app on Apple, the Colorcast app. Raiders will come out in formation. I'll say, okay, this is their formation. It'll be a running play, and it is.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm calling what the play is, and I'm right 98% of the time, you know, that's got to change. Fred, I tell you, it looks like we got no callers tonight, which is a bummer. Any last words before we go to the end notes?
Well, again, make sure you're following Elite Superfans on their page, which is a Facebook page, and also be sure to follow them on Instagram. And be sure to keep following this show. We do have some sponsor giveaways that we're putting in place right now, so we will be giving away some giveaways. And be sure to like and follow us. That's all we ask.
Yeah, there you go. Well, couldn't have said it better than myself. We'll be back next Friday night. And again, it's always a pleasure for you, sir. And we'll get ready. Well, let me get rid of the one thing. Apologize here. Get rid of that. And then we'll do our outro, and we'll be good to go in just a little bit. Again, thank you for watching the Elite Superfan Show with myself and Buffalo Fred Kilmartin.
Have a good night, everyone.